Hello, everybody. How are you today? Welcome to our Gaia Live Sessions. And today we will have the first interview of different ones we will show you in the next weeks. And today we will have a really special artist, musician, photographer too. But in this case, is a flute player from Lebanon. Lebanon, in English, Líbano en español. And he recording our album, a really beautiful ultra, I don't know how to describe it, is there, check it out. And yeah, and he's here with us and he will share his experiences and well, and I am really curious about things I wanna ask you, Ramy. How are you today, brother?
Hi, hello, and thank you
Hi.
for inviting me to your Gaia session.
Ramy, I wanna ask you, man, like, because I see you all the time traveling with the flute, playing with different people, living in different countries. I wanna ask you, just like how did you start to play and tell to the audience a little bit about yourself, brother.
Yeah, so I started playing at a very young age. I was like 6 years old,
Wow.
and actually, my father played the oud, the Oriental instrument, the oud, and so we always had music, and he also played the violin, so we always had music at our place, and so. Um, I started. Actually, it happened when a friend of my father, a Lebanese guy, was living in
Mhm.
Bolivia, and he brought me this flute. So it
Oh,
was a typical Bolivian, I think,
wow.
traditional flute.
Wow.
And this was the first instrument, the
Exotic.
first flute I played.
Oof.
So maybe I'll make a demonstration later on,
Please. Yeah, yeah,
if you want to.
yeah. Sure, sure,
So
sure.
I started playing with this flute. And the funny thing about this flute is that it doesn't have the tempered note system. So it actually has some quarter tones. And since in the Lebanese music and the Oriental music, Levantine music, better said, because you're an Orient, I cannot use Oriental style. But we use the word Oriental style for the music in our region. But now that I'm talking with real people from Orient, so I cannot dare to use that word. So it's Levantine style. And so since it played these quarter tones, it was easy for me to interpret to play the Lebanese music. And so I liked it a lot. And I started playing by ear. And then in the school, I went to a French school, and we had also it was mandatory to play the recorder, the flute, the recorder. So and then I decided that I loved the instrument, and so I went to the conservatory at the age of 9. I started my with a very nice teacher who was like a father to me. His name is Andre, and this is how it all started. And then I, after I started with the recorder, and then I went to the classical flute. And since I started the lessons with the classical flute, all I wanted is to play okay, of course, the classical music, but also my music, the music of my country. And so, little by little, I went searching for the scales and the way of blowing and the techniques that would help me interpret with the best way this music on the flute. And this is how it all began. And this helped me, like, I mean, I think like every other musician, when when you start to play at a certain level, it's easy to travel and to meet people and to exchange music ideas, and this is how it has been going till now. So I travel a lot. I'm in love with my flute and with the music in general, and every time I travel, I share music with others, even if I'm not working. I'm like, my brother used to say a joke that I'm like, I like say, how do you say
you are
the
so
guy who,
active. You are so active.
Sorry?
In my opinion,
Yeah.
I don't know if you wanna say something like that, but you're so curious, active. I saw you in by when I see the social media.
You say that I am active. You see me as an active guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Really a traveler, explorer.
I am in music. I am very active in music. No, even in daily life, I'm very, very active also.
Yeah, but I feel like as that's I can feel that in your music when you play.
Yeah. Actually,
the way your solos, the way you play is reflected.
I think it's a luxury to be able to play and to work something you really love. So you don't really need vacation from music if you like it. I don't need a vacation. I can play all the time. So yeah, I'm active because I like what I do. So for me, it's the flute and, as you said, the photography. So I'm in both worlds, very active. But professionally, I'm a musician. So
sure,
photography is more like a hobby. But yeah, when you like something, you can be very active in it, of course.
When you were talking about your childhood or your influences in music, you were saying your father was kind of the strongest influence on you, on your music or your musical vocabulary, or was it also like how big was the role of your mother, like was your mother, for example, singing to you? Was your mother giving you the ideas of the melodies, particularly of course the Arabic background, or where did you pick that up?
Okay, so I'm having trouble with the voice because I'm really trying to hear what you are saying. I mean, both of you, but there is too much noise and the voice is not clear.
Okay, let's repeat again the question. Louder,
yeah.
Okay, come on, you guys.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, like you mentioned before that your father was a very strong influence on you, like in musical or kind of I don't know. You picked up from your father, and I was just wondering, was it also your mother or who was giving you the idea of these Arabic scales, Arabic songs, Arabic melodies? Where did you actually pick that up? Like in childhood already from your family, or later in school, or where?
It was at home, actually, in my family. So my father, since he played on an Arabic instrument, the oud. So and he also sings psaltika, the old Greek Byzantine music. So he also was singing that and playing the oud, but he wasn't a professional musician. But he went to the conservatory, but he didn't work in music later. But yeah, it was the first influence. And then my mother, I remember when she used to take us to school every day, we heard she used to put in the radio the Lebanese radio station that always put traditional songs all day, every morning. So yeah, I was raised in a house that in a home that likes music, and music was running all the time, so it wasn't very difficult to pick it up and go straight from there. And even I have my brother plays the violin, so we are three brothers, and the three of us learned music, but two of us now work professionally as musicians. So you can like know that at home there was this thing, and it helped us go with the flow and then pick the music as a profession.
And you also mentioned that later on you were picking the classical flute, the European classical flute in the music lessons. Is that let's say, is that a traditional thing, or is that a common thing in Lebanon still, this music to be taught at the conservatory, or was that a special interest of you that you, or was a special choice of you that you kind of wanted to play this classical flute?
No, actually, the conservatory, of course, for this flute, the program is the classical program. The classical program. So I studied classical music on this. There is no other orientation for this flute in Lebanon. But of course, since I started playing on this flute, I wanted my ultimate goal was not becoming a classical musician, although I finished all my classical studies, and played in orchestras and everything. But my ultimate goal was to play what I feel, the music that makes me feel the most on this flute. So I started searching myself, and let's say even inventing techniques that would help me interpret the music. And it was really hard because it's something new. The flute is not used to play how it's made, how it's built. It's not built to play quarter tones. It's built to play the tempered. Of course, I'm using an open hole flute, so it helps me now. It helps to mimic a bit some quarter tones. But let me tell you one thing. It took me 24 years to find the last quarter tone I needed. And it was actually last year during the COVID, because I played a lot.
You see,
and
something good about that.
Yeah. And I found the last piece of the puzzle. So I can play the whole 24 quarter tone scale on the flute, on a classical flute without any modification. And it took me 24 years to do that. So yeah, I was really passionate about, and I was really longing to get there and play everything on this flute.
No. I was just wondering, like, you chose the classical flute, but wasn't there, for example, an offer to study also the Arab flute, like in Lebanon? Does that exist?
I didn't get this question.
I say, would there be the offer in Lebanon also study traditional flute, traditional instruments at the conservatory?
I didn't study other flutes. I only I only studied this flute. All my conservatory years were on this flute. I never so I started violin because my father wanted me to play the violin at first. I didn't like it. I started with the trumpet. I was 5 years old. I didn't like it. So I really wanted to play this flute. It was this flute for me at the beginning. So my father was a bit desperate, and he said, "Okay, so what do you want to play?" And I remember we had this flute on the shelf, and I told him, "This one. Give me this one. What?
How
there is no study program for. You cannot study this."
Can you show us how that sound like?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, I am very interested about this.
Yeah, flute. I told him, "Well, teach me the do re mi on this," and he took it and he played. And you can hear it's not a do re mi fa sol la si do like the classical. And here you hear. The third tone is a quarter tone, and the seventh tone is a quarter tone, and for an Oriental scale, it's perfect.
Wow, yeah, perfect. That's scary.
Okay, so it's perfect for this music. And I fell in love with it, and I played it all the time. until I went to the conservatory and started the recorder. And then my teacher told me, why don't we go to the classical flute? And I didn't had any idea what was the classic. When I saw the picture in the book, it was like coming out of it was like a dream, you know, seeing this shiny flute made of metal. And yeah, so this is how I went and chose this flute at the end.
As you
I was
mentioned,
so excited to play this flute.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was so excited that because I had to wait some time so they can ship it from Japan. So I had to wait like 6 months to get the first flute. It was like that. It was long ago. No Amazon, no internet, so a bit harder to get. So
yes,
what happened is that I started to blow in everything I find and to try to mimic the embouchure system of blowing. I even was used to blow in the pasta, the penne. You know the
penne. Yeah.
Yeah, I used like to close the hole and whistle while eating. Yeah.
Wow. So you tried all the noodles. You tried all the
And it
sort of
wasn't easy
noodles.
with the noodles. It doesn't have a hole.
Okay.
well,
Yeah.
Ramy, as you mentioned about the pandemic, I know we all have some kind of lockdown in 2 years. And how is that affect to your music career?
Let's say it was a good opportunity for me to get back to the serious work,
Oh, okay.
because since the years before the pandemic, and I mean long years,
yeah.
with the work and the family and life in general, my rehearsing was a bit coming every time a bit down. So in the pandemic, I think I played the flute more than all my life. I mean, like, I can actually say like 7-8 hours a day.
Wow.
Poor wife and poor kids, you know. So, but yeah, I revisited all the program of the conservatory pieces I always wanted to play. I stayed months practicing hard pieces because I didn't have time to like practice it before, like concertos and like heavy things. And yeah, it was really nice.
So
And a bit of composing, but mainly playing and rehearsing and techniques.
Fantastic.
Yeah, stuff like that. It was a good opportunity
during
to do it.
last year is a lot of work turned into online. I mean, such like teaching or maybe recording or even online concert in Spain or the place you stay.
He's in Romania, in Bucharest, right now.
Yeah,
right?
I did. Yeah, of course. During the COVID, everyone wanted to go online, and it's logical. You know, you're at home. And the only way to say hi to the world is through the through the phone and through the PC. And yeah, also the master classes online were like more and more. How do you say? Like people were asking more about the classes online and things. And yeah, it was a good opportunity to discover this this thing. Yeah, I gave some some courses with the London University. It was a nice experience, and the best thing about this experience then is that when I had these courses, when I was giving these courses, you had like person from New York. I had a person from New York, the other one from Italy, the other one from Germany, from France. It was like really it was like a ambassadors meeting more than a flute workshop, you know. It was nice. It was the nice thing about the online courses.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
that's cool.
Ramy, I wanna ask you, because in 2017 we had the opportunity to play together, and Kinsing and me, we went to Spain, and you joined us, and man, from that concert we had, I really admire you and respect you as an artist and musician, because you were coming to the rehearsal every day, you know, going to the rehearsal, coming back to Vigo. We were rehearsing in my house in Aguarda.
It's far. It's 1 hour.
Yeah, 1 hour
drive.
each driving, you know.
So
And
2 hours drive every
and
day.
the last day in the rehearsal that we reviewed the songs before the concert, your flute, your special flute, was broken, you know. And you say, like you were calm, say, don't worry, I go to Vigo and I talk to Armando, you know. Armando is our friend.
Yeah.
And you pick up
Let's
his
say Armando
flute,
saved my ass that day.
and he
yeah.
has a cheap flute, and he took it, and you came back on time for the concert, and that concert was wonderful. Everybody loved it, you know. I remember, who is that guy?
Yeah, but nobody was like seeing what I had inside, like playing with this flute and discovering the.
That's what I mean.
'Cause,
You
yeah,
can
the instrument
really.
is so important when you are used to play your instrument. It's so hard, like to take another one
Mhm.
and start to play. And the flute is really so sensitive. It's so. I think the violin and the flute and these kind of instruments are so hard, like to take another flute and like start. When I buy a flute, I need like at least 1 month to start really giving the potential of the flute. And yeah, that was so funny and so hard at the same time. And Armando saved me that day. And,
Yeah, but you make it, you took it, and
yes,
you
and
adapt.
yeah, indeed, it was a very nice concert. I remember very well that day, and I think it's an opportunity to speak a bit about this music you are doing, Shingsing and you. And I remember when it was when you contacted me
Yeah.
and you told me I'm with this project, like music from Spain and music from the Far East. And I
Yeah.
said, and I really thought it's. I didn't get the idea at the beginning because there are two worlds. So they are so
Yeah.
far, these two worlds. I mean, the Spanish music and the Galician music and all the influence
Yeah.
of this, and the music from the Far East. And I didn't know what to think. And then when I went to your place and we started rehearsing, it was like butter, you know? It was so easy to understand what's going on, even though the music are so from two ends, you know? And you were asking me to play, also to put, let's say, the Levantine Oriental
Yeah.
Lebanese style there.
Mhm.
And even with this mixture, it went so well, and it was so. This is the power of the music, you know.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
really the power. At the end, if it's so easy to if you're on a certain level as a musician, it's so easy to understand what's going on.
Mm.
And even if you play something really like far away from what's happening, you can like slide it inside this plaque of music, and it would sound nice. And I was really surprised about the result of all that. You know,
It's so nice.
let's say that the vibes were so perfect, and music is really powerful. And you guys did a great job. And really, it's like you're coming from two different worlds, and you mixed all this in your Gaia project, and
Thank you, brother.
it's the result is amazing. And I invite everyone to hear this project, the Sound of Gaia, Sonus de Gaia. And
as-
good luck for the new
as
project, because you
I-
just told me you're preparing a new project also.
Yes, yes. as I told you before,
I'm eager to hear what's happening now.
Yeah, as I told you before the interview, it's like your soul is inside the music, because you record there, and so you are part of this, so the power of music to combine us and make us one. Yeah, so Ramy, the last question I want to ask you is, in what projects are you involved right now, or in what you are working on, and or if you have anything coming up that you want to share with?
Now, since life is starting a bit again, but we don't know till when, because it's ups and downs, the COVID situation. But I'm working on two main projects now. I have on my YouTube channel a series called Songs from My Childhood. And I made like two series now, and soon I will publish the third one. It's a series of songs of from my childhood, from Lebanon and Syria and Egypt, songs I used to hear myself. And since I live abroad now, I don't live in Lebanon, so I wanted my children to hear this music, and mainly it was when they were born. I wanted to put some music for them to sleep. I didn't want to put the most common music for sleeping, because the lullabies coming from the States. No problem with that. No problem with that at all. But I mean, I wanted to give them also. No, I used to put the familiar lullabies, all kids here. But I also wanted to give them another part that is my world.
It's our roots.
And so I arranged with Mark Abu Naum, the piano player. He's an excellent piano player, excellent person also, very nice friend, and very good musician. And so we arranged these songs so they could be easy to hear, easy listening, and soft, and help the kids to sleep. So, but this was the main purpose for me. But of course, everybody can listen to that. It's nice to hear this music with a flute and piano. It's different. So it's another approach for this music. So this is one of the projects.
So people can listen in your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Right?
So in 2
Ramy
weeks it will be
Maalouf.
published in YouTube. I will put another series of 6 songs, and that's for one of the projects. Another project is I started the second project 11 years ago, and now I decided like to publish it. It's about it's a classical piece I've been working on since I was living in Algeria. The title is Fantaisie Oranaise, which means the fantasy from Oran. Oran is the second biggest town in Algeria. And it's a first experience in classical composing. I don't consider myself as a classical composer, but I had this idea and this melody in my head when I was there. So I started composing, and I've been like working on fixing everything like since then, like 11 years, 12 years now. And now with a very good piano player from Lebanon, I won't say his name until the project is like finished.
No
We're
problem.
trying to like push this and make it like a classical music piece for a flute and piano. It's a modern piece, a bit hard to interpret it, and this is why also it took me some time, because even myself I had to practice it all the time. And yeah, so this is the second project. And as a freelance musician, I'm traveling all the time. I'm playing with other musicians. So I'm traveling now to Saudi Arabia next week, and yeah, that's part of like the professional life.
That's great. Okay, so I think, do you have any other questions? I suggest maybe you can play something for all of us with flute, whatever you want, and you can show,
my
your
brother
way.
was in China. like 3 years ago.
Wow.
Okay, and he brought me this flute.
It's a
So
Chinese
I think this
bamboo
is a
flute.
Chinese flute.
Yes.
Correct me if
Can
I'm
you
wrong.
play it?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I never played it on stage, but I had it at home all the time. And sometimes I used to play things, just like to change the mood of it. So I'm gonna play an Oriental, a Levantine music from Lebanon on this thing, and I don't know, it could be interesting.
That's very special.
But let me search for the tonality first, because
Of course. Take your time.
okay.
Wow, the power of music, man. Amazing. Like in the bamboo flute playing like that. Yeah.
So, from Bolivia, every flute can be played like that. You can give it another spirit if you just give it what you know.
Yeah.
It's quite special for us because it's a bamboo flute from Asia. And can you share audience and also us about where can we find your music, such like iTunes or YouTube or Apple Music?
Yeah, so I don't have a iTunes account. I only put my music on YouTube.
I see.
It's easy, it's free, it's accessible for everyone.
It's your name, right?
So,
your name, and they will find
it's my name, Ramy Maalouf.
Cool.
I can send it later, and you can
Sure. We can share it in the description.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. People can search.
Do you want me to end with a piece on this flute, something on this flute? Because
please.
I remember that the special place of this flute is you have a slide in the Western flute, right?
Yeah.
I never saw that before.
Okay, just give me a sec.
Sure. Well, guys, you saw Ramy here. He's gonna show us his way to play the classical flute
with a slide.
Yeah, slide. Yeah. And that's the piece he broke in our concert. And let's listen now.
Because in the regular one, you won't have a slide on the Western flute.
Oh yeah, look.
He kind of like invent this kind of device in the Western flute.
So this is called the Glissandos head flute. Flute head, yeah. It's from a flute player called Robert Dick, and he built it like to play to be able to interpret like the blues styles and blues and jazz, and also it can be done for the Oriental music also. So how it works? It's so easy. So you just move the.
soundtrack.
Thank you.
And what a
Yes,
great ending.
This is the Glissandos. Very nice.
Great, Ramy, man,
Sorry.
boys.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for showing us your
Thank you.
music,
Thank you
your
very much.
experiences, sharing with us and with all the audience. And yeah, we are in touch and hope we can collaborate pretty soon
Yes.
again. Yeah, and make music.
Of course,
together.
and best of luck for you, the project now and for the Gaia sessions.
Thank
and
you.
I think it's a very good idea, and it's nice so your public, your fans could also know the persons behind the instruments, and it's nice. It's nice. It even makes the music closer, I think. Best of luck.
You're
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you, brother. Thank you so much. So guys, thank you for watching. If you like it, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, press like, and press the bell to receive the notifications, and share with your friends. Take care. Best of luck. Bye bye. Good vibes.
Bye.